Okay, here we are. We are moving on to actually making the corned beef hash, which is my favorite thing to do for St. Patrick's Day with my family. You have a recipe in your meat unit packet that looks like this. And so, as you can see, you just need a couple simple ingredients. We have the cooked corned beef brisket, which we've been making today. I took some potatoes and diced them, some onion and diced it, and then margarine. So I went ahead and started melting the margarine or butter I used. And since I'm doing a larger portion for my own family today, that's why my amounts are going to be more than in the recipe, but at least you can see the process. So what I like to do is get a little bit of everything in the pan. Now you might have a little splash because of the hot butter in there, so I'm going to do about half. And then I'm going to add about half of my onions, just because my pan's not big enough for all of this right now. And then I'm going to take about half of my diced, tender, no fat corned beef, or brisket, as I like to say. Remember, the article that I shared in school today talked about why is it called corned beef instead of just brisket, and it's due to the seasoning and cooking process. There's nothing corned or corn about it at all. So once you get these ingredients, what you're going to do, I'm going to turn up my burner a little bit more on medium-high, and then you want to get a spatula, something like this. You know, this is my favorite, one of these. They call it like a fish turner, but a real nice spatula. I'm using a nonstick pan. I'm actually using kind of like a wok because it's got a lot of surface area, and I don't want to scratch it with a metal one, so make sure whatever cooking utensil you use is going to be kind to the surface of your pan. And so I'm just going to mix it all together. And then what will happen is I'll slowly start pressing against the side of the pan. And, oh, I got a couple timers going off. Sorry about that. Okay, so anyways, once this heats up, it's just going to kind of fry, and the whole process is I kind of make a well in the middle and just press up against the pan. Now, based on what kind of pan you have, you could do anything you want. There's some other kinds of pans that maybe you have at home. You could use something, you know, I got something like this. I could use that. I could use just the bottom. But like I said, I'm kind of making mine for a bigger crowd. So I'm using the biggest pan I have with the most surface space. So it'll take a few minutes. You kind of have to press it up against the sides and leave it alone. And then after a few minutes, I'll come back, we'll flip it around and press it again. And we just kind of keep doing that until it's all one happy recipe together. How do you check if it's done? The meat's already cooked. The onions are going to go ahead and get cooked and sauteed in this process. And pretty much you could just take a fork through one of the pieces of potato, and once that goes in easy, you'll know that it is all ready to go. A favorite in our house is to actually put like eggs on top of it. But you know, you could do whatever you want. So I'll be back for the last part here in a second. Let me just show you the inside of the pan. And I've just got it getting happy together, and I'm pressing everything together against the side of the pan. All right, there should be one more video and we should be ready to go.